Now I was scrolling through Twitter and I found this interesting picture of Mauro Icardi in a Barcelona shirt, and I remembered how many random players around the world used to come from Barcelona's La Masia academy. And then my Football Manager brain started thinking and ticking along, and I thought, what if I stuck all of those ex-La Masia players in one team, put them in La Liga and see if they could finish higher than Barcelona? Now our target is 20,000 subscribers before the start of July, and for 3 people who subscribe from now until then, if we reach that target that is, we'll win 2 snapbacks and a £50 Amazon gift card. Get smashing that button. So yes, I created La Masia Rejects, and I also put ex-Barcelona manager and player Pep Guardiola as their manager just because, well, they needed a manager and I thought that makes the most sense to me. Ignore some of these players because we have stripped all of this ex-Elche team into a former Barcelona Academy side. If we set this by value, you can see some massive names including Thiago, Andre Onana, Mauro Icardi himself, the man who really started this whole thing, Dani Olmo, Adama Traore, and the list goes on and on. Some of the names actually brought back some memories as well, with the likes of Bojan, of course, who eventually ended up in Stoke, and Jean-Marie Dongu, who used to be amazing on Football Manager, the Cameroonian who obviously back in the day was a La Masia player and had some huge prospects, now finding himself in the Finnish leagues. So how will this club do in La Liga? Will they finish above Barcelona? That's going to be a very tough challenge, but they do have arguably the greatest manager in the world right now at the helm who could potentially take them to that glory. So I'm going to simulate a full season and we're going to see exactly how they do. Now we're actually coming back after the first match just because I want to see exactly how they got on, and they actually managed to win the game. If we take a look at the fixtures and results, they managed to beat Cadiz 2-1 and Barcelona lost 2-1. So we're off to a great start in 6th place. Okay, now we're going to go to the end of the season. Well, this did not go to plan. This definitely did not go how I thought it would. La Masia Rejects have finished last place. What happened? They only managed to win 7 games. They drew 7 games. I mean, I know I mentioned how they probably won't beat Barcelona, but I did expect them to at least finish like mid-table, at least avoid relegation, and they have somehow managed to fail that miserably. Barcelona actually finished in 3rd place and have just sacked their manager, which means, I mean, if I take a look at this, who's favourite for that role? Okay, we're all good. The favourite for that role is not going to be Pep Guardiola, so that's a bonus. But I still don't quite understand why La Masia Rejects finish bottom. What kind of happened there? I mean, he's definitely playing the formation that I would expect, a 4-2-3-1 with the players that I gave him. He was actually sacked as well. How did this happen? I want to see kind of how they managed to do and how many goals each of these players scored. So Dani Olmo seemed to play the most amount of games. Munir, Alex Grimaldo there. I mean, some of these players, by the way, are like world class. Alex Grimaldo is a world class fullback in my opinion. Dani Olmo, one of my favourite players from the game a couple of years ago. I really didn't expect them to get relegated. They have so much about them. It's just weird to me. Right, okay, so goals came from Mauro Icardi and Dani Olmo, but they only managed to pick up 11 each. That makes sense, and he wants to leave to get into the international team because obviously they're playing so bad. Mauro Icardi wants out already. Now he's going to be relegated. He definitely doesn't want to stick around. I'm actually quite surprised the rest of the club isn't exactly falling to pieces as well. We've got a couple players who might be leaving, a couple players who are listed. But other than that, everyone seems to be okay with going down into the 2nd division. Thiago being one of them, which is obviously quite funny. Maybe their defence is not quite up to it because they did actually concede the most amount of goals in the league with 68 in those 38 appearances, which That's not good at all. And clean sheets, they would finish second from bottom with only 4 clean sheets throughout the whole season. But that does shock me when you have a goalkeeper like Andre Onana. I mean, it doesn't actually look like they played him at all, which is amazing. Why he's done that, I'm not quite sure. Hector Bellerin at right back, Marc Bartra, Patrick and Alex Grimaldo in their defense. They have like Eric Garcia there, and I took away the fact that he would leave, so I thought that might help. They have some world-class, well, not world-class, they have some very good centre-backs. Not good, not like bad enough, the fact that they would finish in the relegation zone at all. I really did think that they'd survive. Well, I'm actually not happy about that. I'm going to go again. Let's simulate another season. Okay, now I simulated the exact same season. I wanted to keep them in La Liga just to see if Pep Guardiola can do better if we give him another chance. Right, well, that's weird. Athletic Bilbao managed to win the league. That's the most shocking thing, but we can see La Masia rejects. They finished in 9th place, mid-table, exactly where I expected them to be, and Mauro Icardi managed to joint top scorer with this Osasuna guy with 20 goals this season. The assist-wise, Dani Olmo managed to pick up 10 assists as well. He is up there, so we are starting to see some good progress in regards to how they've done. I'm still completely dumbfounded how Bilbao managed to win the league. They won it on goal difference as well to Atletico Madrid. Both Barcelona and Real Madrid both finished in 3rd and 4th and now are completely managerless, so that's quite amazing. Are we managerless? No, Pep Guardiola is still here. This is slightly different than what we've seen before. He's gone more defensively this season. It must have kind of worked. Dani Olmo now playing in a more central role instead of an attacking midfielder role. And I still don't quite get why Andre Onana is not playing. I do not understand why they don't like Andre Onana, because he is arguably one of the best goalkeepers on the game at the start of the game. Instead, he goes for Jordi Masip, who, I mean, he's okay, but he's not exactly the best goalkeeper in La Liga. They've gone with him instead. Hector Bellerin, Marc Bartra, Eric Garcia and Grimaldo seem to have played the most amount of games in that back line. That makes a lot of sense to me. Oriol Romeu had 20 goals and 20 appearances from the bench, which kind of means that they must have played Thiago quite often in that DM role. He does look like he has managed to accomplish that role now. That makes sense then if he has been playing there as well. So the goals have been coming from Mauro Icardi and from Munir on one wing and Dani Olmo. So again, Adama Traore just doesn't seem to score a lot of goals, even though he is absolutely rapid with 20 pace and 20 acceleration. When he was at Barcelona, he wasn't the brick shithouse that he is now. And assist-wise, 12 assists from Dani Olmo means he's probably the player of the season here, which kind of makes sense to me. He is kind of the focal point. He left Barcelona and went to Dinamo Zagreb, took a huge chance, and it kind of paid off because now he is playing in the Bundesliga with RB Leipzig. He moved in the January of last season, and he is slowly being surrounded with some really good players in real life. I'm excited to see how good Dani Olmo does, and I would love to see him at Manchester United in the future, that's for sure. So I'm actually quite surprised with how well they've done this season. It's not as good as what I had hoped, but hey, that's amazing, the fact that La Liga has been won by other than one of the top 3. We actually also finished 9th place for the most goals conceded, or the least amount of goals conceded, so we've done a lot better there. Athletic Bilbao just dominated this, by the way. And again, we're 9th place for clean sheet. So we are smack bang in the middle of the league, and I'm actually quite happy with that, considering how bad the first simulation went. So I think we'll leave it there. I mean, my expectations were around about that, but I think the most shocking thing was the relegation. What are your thoughts? Is there any other experiments that you'd like to see me do on the channel? Let me know down in the description. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it and subscribe to make sure we get to that 20,000 subscriber mark by the start of July. All the links down below. Patreon, get yourself a hat, Twitch.tv, Twitter, Instagram, everything's down below. Leave a comment and I'll see you very soon. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.